Okay, so we started today with an uplifting if. Well, it's an academic view, isn't it? The world is rosy, everything is going to go terrific. Just do it, Michael said. Just do it. Don't. Then the other Michael says, let's be a bit practical. Things aren't quite as rosy as it looked. I'm going to show you the dirty underbelly. I'm going to show you quite how ugly it really is. So my aim is to make you come out of this going, oh my God, what are we doing here? Who do I tell to turn this stuff off? There's a minister here. Can we tell the government to turn this stuff off? So, Internet of Things. Wikipedia, that font of all human knowledge now, says that the Internet of Things is the network of physical objects or things embedded with electronics, software, sensors, connectivity to enable objects to exchange data with manufacturers, operate and or other connected devices. What a boring type definition. Here's my definition of the Internet of Things. It's all the technology you didn't realise you were buying, connected in ways you don't understand, and doing things the manufacturer tells you you don't need to worry about. So what are these things that we're talking about? That's a lovely glib term, things. Well, there are a whole bunch of dumb things. Dumb things are things that don't have normal user interfaces. So things that aren't PCs, things that you as a human are not supposed to interact with. So building management systems, for example, the smoke detectors in a room, the temperature sensors, things that people aren't supposed to interact with. They're easy, we can imagine them. But dumb things are also medical devices, like insulin pumps. Statistically, someone in the room is likely to be a diabetic. Right? You live based on having the right dose of insulin into your system and sensors to detect that it's all going to work right. That's a dumb thing. Today, maybe you're pricking a finger, touching a thing, seeing a sensor. In the future, there'll be none of that. There'll be an embedded chip in you that's doing all the work for you. No human interaction. Other dumb things are things like the power grid. So those pictures on the right-hand side are actually power meters that are available in Victoria today. So Victoria has moved to a completely smart metering approach. We did the security testing of it. And some of them are really clever dumb things, and some of them are less clever dumb things. What you have in your house? Can't say. The world's going this way. I'd personally have a smart meter in my house without question, but people who put smart meters in their house don't realise that the box that you tick says, when it gets a bit powery, we can just turn off your air conditioner remotely. We can turn off anything that you plug in remotely. Because we're not managing your house, we're managing the ecosystem. We don't want to black a suburb out, so we're just going to turn off a few people's air conditioners. Hope it's not 88-year-old Mrs. Jones. Probably will be. Be in the paper. Andrew Bolt will say something. So then we get to smart things. Everybody's smart. Everything's a smart. We've got smart phones. We've got smart fridges. We've got smart cars. And I so much want a Tesla. I've test-driven one. It's like a video game with wheels. It's amazing. We've got smart pens. We've got smart watches. We've got smart washing machines, for pity's sake. That really is a smart washing machine. It comes with an app. You can tell when your clothes are done. You can also tell that by going into the laundry and looking. I don't know, some of this stuff is the internet of things that nobody really wants, but surely we'll buy them. Wow. And they're all connected. All of them. Yay. So let's go to today's things. And Michael touched on this slightly, but I started looking at the things that I might have in my house. And yeah, I'm an early adopter and I've been in technology for 25 years. And I don't have all of these things, but every single one of these is internet connected today. So your IT stuff, your router, your storage, your wireless access point, your printer. Then we'll move into your home entertainment. Almost everybody's TV is a smart TV. Samsung even call them smart TVs. Your Blu-ray player, your amplifier, your PVR, your set-top box, your games consoles, your toys. Then we'll move into home automation. Your house alarm, that's a smart thing. That calls back to your alarm company. All the current ones do it over a 3G radio. Everybody's house alarm is internet connected. Did you know that? Ooh, lots of eyes just opened up at that one. Your solar panels on your roof are smart things. Your air conditioning is a smart thing. Hell, your robotic vacuum cleaner. Who's looking forward to the first day when the paper's got robotic vacuum cleaner attacks cat? You know it'll happen. Someone will hack your vacuum cleaner and chase your cat around the house. And we think this is a great idea. Welcome to the future. It's unevenly distributed, probably in my house. It's a hassle. Your security system, your phone, your car, the car audio system. These are all little computers. Every single one of them, and every single one of them is connected in some way. In fact, everything that you have ever had the opportunity to update the firmware on is a smart thing. And there are dozens and dozens of them in your house. You don't know you're buying them. Back to my sort of slightly flippant description, but you don't know you're buying these things. Your plan is to go and buy a functional device from Harvey Norman or JB Hi-Fi or something. You don't realise that this is actually a PC in, as Michael said, a different shaped box. So what are tomorrow's things? I read a different number that said 30 billion by 2020. But hey, engineering tolerances within a power of 2 must be close. We haven't even started to imagine the things that IoT is going to cover. See, everything we've dealt with so far, we can sort of get a handle on. It's sort of today's tech. It's today's tech and a little bit. But IoT is going to move so much further than that. And we'll get there, I've no doubt about that. But everything that you interact with will be smart, including your plate, which will know what's on it. And we'll probably suggest that maybe you don't need that second bread roll. Yeah, I know the person next to you didn't eat it, but honestly, you probably don't need it. And it'll beep your little smartwatch and go, nah, put it back. Put it back. Your furniture will weigh you. Yes, I know, ladies, I'm sorry. When you sit down in your lounge chair, it'll go, wow, gone up a little bit, perhaps get up again. It's a smart thing. Your buildings, your home will know when you're home because you raise the temperature slightly when you come in. The sensors in the walls will know that you've moved from room to room. That's not even too far-fetched. Bill Gates had this built when he first became ludicrously rich and had a mansion built where he would change the music on every room as he walked past. But that'll be built in the paint. I know that sounds science fiction, but it's not. It's being developed today. Then we get to everything that has a switch. So right now, the power switch on the wall over here, which turns these lights on, has actually got some high-grade flex behind it, and it's got 240 volts that go directly from the light to there to a power supply. Flick the switch, light goes on. Moving forward, every single switch we have will have Cat5 cable or low voltage cable behind it and will be a sensor. And that switch can be programmed to do anything. You can buy that today in your house. Clipsal sells a system called CBus. It's a very cool idea. You can program every single light switch in your house to do whatever you want. Want this light switch to turn on the TV, turn on a light, turn off the fridge. Oops, hacked that, got it wrong. Every single switch becomes a connected device. Everything that can sense medical data becomes a connected device. Are you looking forward to the connected toilet? Dead set. Happens in Japan today. Already happens today. You take a wee, it senses your urine, and if necessary will alert you to medical conditions. When that data is available to your insurer, on the other hand, it's going to make your life slightly harder. No, boss, I'm sorry, I'm sick today. Your urine sample says you're pissed. That's not what happened. That's a day's annual leave. What about when you get a smart toothbrush? Mouth swabs are a very high indicator of many other conditions. The kind of your mouth is directly connected to the rest of your system. If you could sense what's going on in your mouth, you can get a handle on illness before it happens. So likely your toothbrush becomes a smart medical sensor. And literally everything that you can query. You know, Siri, how do I anything? So tomorrow's going to be a fun place. The future's not quite here yet, but it's going to be interesting. So there's the slightly scary, but now this is the engineering reality of this. Somebody's got to pay for this. This isn't free. I love our academics. They just say things like, just connect it all. It's like it's magic. It's not magic. It's science, it's engineering, and it's done badly. Because it's all very expensive, we have to reuse existing technology. That's why your desk lamp ends up running Linux. It will do. It probably does today. It's not the best thing, but it's free and it's well understood. Now, I'm a manufacturer. I've got to churn out these things. I don't want to pay for an operating system. I don't want to buy VxWorks, which would be the right answer. No, I'm going to do Linux and make it free, run a BusyBox image. Just, that'll be fine. No one will notice. So we have to find a balance here between easy, cheap, and secure. Right? That's a fundamental trade-off. So this is what easy looks like. These exist today. You can buy these today. These are smart light globes. There are no configuration. There are no buttons. There are no instructions. It just comes with an app. You take out an ordinary light globe, you put this light globe in its place, you run up the app, and you say, what color would you like it to be? Easy's good. If you want these things to be adopted in more than an industrial context, and industrial contexts are interesting, but there are 2 orders of magnitude more people than industrial context, and therefore all of the IoT that matters is going to be the human-focused stuff. So easy has to be there. Because let's face it, I don't know how many people are in IT today, but IT is not easy today. And it's getting less easy as we go on. It has to be cheap. These things have to be throwaway devices made by the millions to get us to 20, 30, 50 billion of them, and 50 million a day. I hadn't done the maths. That's, yeah. They have to be deployable everywhere. They have to be universally deployable. We have to come up with one sort of thing we use. And we've discovered very much in the IT world that when we get a monoculture, when everything is based on the same sort of technology, nasty things crash across it. So the thing that's in that guy's hand there is the world's smallest PC today. It fits on an SD card like you put in your camera. That is a fully functional, could run Windows PC. 5 years ago, the smallest PC in the world was about the size of a paperback. The smallest PC in the world 5 years ago cost $200. The smallest PC in the world today costs $20. That's 5 years ago. In 5 years' time, the smallest PC in the world will be the size of a grain of rice and cost $2 and will be 5 times as functional. They'll just be throwaway devices, which sounds good if you're a manufacturer, but is not great if you're a consumer. So the last of the 3, easy, cheap, secure, we need these things to be secure. We need to be them safe from hacking. I run a hacking company. This is going to be great for us. We're going to do really well out of IoT. We need them to be not exploitable. We need them to be not maintainable. They don't need to be maintained. And we need security baked right into the device. And honestly, we need rainbows and unicorns too, because they would make life awesome. I'm prepared to bet we have about as much chance of rainbows and unicorns as this one. So if we could get it right, and I'm quoting a Beach Boys song here, wouldn't it be nice? If we could come up with a lovely sort of IoT blob right there in the middle, where we balanced easy and we balanced cheap and we balanced secure, and everybody went yay, and Phil was an idiot, and he stood up on stage in Brisbane and he told people lies. That'd be lovely. I'd be okay with that. Actually, it looks much more like this. All right, where we find that cheap matters beyond everything else. It has to be cheap. It won't work. You can't get 50 billion of these things out there if they cost any money. The next one is easy. It has to be easy. The smallest blob there is secure. It's the least important from a consumer point of view or a manufacturer point of view. And the way I've put this together, there is no overlap between easy, cheap, and secure. You don't get to pick cheap and secure because no one is prepared to give away easy. So you can either pick easy and cheap, or you can pick easy and secure, but you can't have all 3. So maybe if we think and wish and hope and pray, it might come true. Well, Beach Boys said it, but I'm not going to. And finally, how are we going to monetize this? How are we going to make money out of this? Today, advertising sells your eyeballs. People probably know that if you don't pay for a service, you're not the client, you're the product. So that's what Facebook is. You don't pay for Facebook because Facebook is selling your eyes to do ad impressions to advertisers. So is Google. The only one of the big companies that doesn't work this way is Apple. Apple makes the point they want to sell you hardware. That's why they don't sell your personal data. They've got a model selling hardware. The other companies sell your eyeballs. Tomorrow, with IoT, they'll sell your biometrics. They'll sell your location. We will have targeted ads based on how you're feeling right now, where you're standing right now, which will come through onto your smartwatch, or maybe your Google Glasses. I'm a bit less certain about Google Glasses. And then we get to security, my favourite bit. So here's the truth. IoT security is just IT security. It's not special, it's not different, except that it's done on the cheap. It isn't managed, it's not even manageable, and there is absolutely no economic real reason for the manufacturer to support the device once they've sold it. Now, I bought in December last year a high-end stereo system to replace the one in my car. Bought it from Pioneer, right? Good, honest, A-grade brand. They replaced that model 1 month later, and they've told me that they're no longer supporting the old model. This was a $1,000 device. It's no longer supported. There will be no firmware updates to it. Bad luck. We're building the new one. We've already sold you the product. We've done the transaction. There's no more money in it for us, for you to do anything with that product except replace it with a new one. Now, I'm not spending that. The Tesla car is a really good example. The Model S is great because they do have economic incentive. Besides that, you're paying 130 grand for the damn thing. You expect a little bit of support for 130 grand. But when the IoT thing you've bought costs $2, no one's going to look after it. So let's just call a spade here. Let's forget about things. Things are just low-powered PCs running software you can't fix, repurposed by the cheapest developer, all connected to the internet where all the attackers are. So seriously, what could possibly go wrong? Now, if you've seen the latest Terminator movie, spoilers, 2017? Genesis turns on and the IoT takes over and the machines rise up against us. I don't think it'll happen personally because the software quality is so awful that they'd crash on the first day. But in reality here, you've got to choose any two. You know, you've got to be easy. IoT has to be easy. It doesn't work if it's not easy. So you've either got to choose not cheap, and you've got to design it properly, and you've got to use good software development processes, and it will take a long time. It will take a fortune to build, and it'll take a very long time to get to market, but at least it will be secure. Or you can choose not secure, at which point you build in planned obsolescence. All right? That light globe I showed you, if it fails, you buy another one. You're not going to patch it. There's no ability to patch it. They don't want you to patch it. If it dies, buy another one. If the 50 million IoT devices a day fail, you don't fix them, you replace them. And then you manage stuff with an end-user license agreement that says you must not hack this, because that keeps the bad guys out. It's been well known that putting 50-page legal disclaimers on stuff keeps the bad guys out. And we've been here before. This is not new. So, on the left-hand side here, we've got an iPhone, which, yeah, I'm in that fanboy camp. I got an iPhone. Now, the iPhone went the easy and secure route, but it's not cheap. So this is a $1,200 piece of shiny that I keep in my pocket. But the total amount of malware in the iPhone ecosystem, other than stuff done by researchers to prove it, none. It's actually none. There's some test stuff going on, and if you've jailbroken your phone, yeah, well, then you're dumb. But, so jailbreaking your phone, this is the same as going, I'm going to disable the anti-lock brakes on my car because it goes 5% faster, and I don't like being controlled by the manufacturer. I don't know, people. Or we can pick the Android approach, which is where they went easy and cheap. So Samsung Galaxy S is going to cost you a third of the price of an iPhone. And it's where all the malware is, all of it. Please don't do banking on your Android phones, just please don't. This week, new vulnerability discovered in Android phones. 950 million phones, nearly 1 billion phones, are vulnerable to being sent a specially crafted SMS which can take over your phone and own it up and turn it into the world's largest botnet this week. There's no support for this. You can't fix it, you can't patch it. Google don't care. Samsung don't care, and Telstra certainly don't care. They'd like to care, but they all point fingers at someone else. It's not our fault. It's someone else's fault. And who ends up wearing the cost? It's us. So there you go. There's the truth of Internet of Things. The things are here. There are going to be more things. The things are going to get scarier. Will life get better? Sure. Will you remember this presentation? I hope so. Please enjoy your dessert. Enjoy your coffee. And thanks very much.